ChatGPT itself. Okay, so we are here in the let me hide that also so that at least I get a clear view of the screen. Okay, so we are here and this is AIPRM already active on my device, and you will be able to activate it as soon as you install it, right? Yourself. Okay, now once you get this particular thing, sorry, this is a little irritating for me. So I'm just trying to move it here and there. Please stay with me on this particular part. So now let's say I need something from this. I just install this, and what I need is a really good article which can outrank other articles. What I'm going to do is, hey, give me one article. So I just clicked on outrank. It said outrank article by AIPRM, and maybe what would be your favorite topic? Let me take a topic from you people. Give me one topic, at least the first person who gives me a good topic to write an article on, I'm going to take that thing up. Please give me a topic. Biomass. Okay. Where we have our keyword. Thank you. Fastest fingers. Are you seeing what it can do? And the amazing thing is, it is writing it as you think, right? As it thinks. And it is concluding the article. Okay, fair. So this is how this particular thing would help, right? What we are speaking is the prompts on AIPRM, but we were in the topic of keyword research. So let's look at keyword research related stuff. And what I'm going to do now is I'm looking at this another prompt, which is over here, keyword strategy, right? So there are thousands of prompts. Even if you are not able to locate this particular prompt, what you can do is you can search for keyword related thing, and then you'll start finding the prompt. So you don't have to give those long instructions to the AI, because not all of us have mastered the prompts as of now. So I'm giving you a ready-made thing that, okay, you can just use this plugin, and this plugin will create the prompts for you. So let's say I want to get into keyword strategy. So I'm just going to select the prompt for keyword strategy, and I'm going to use the keyword. Again, what I'll do is I'll just use the same chat window, the second after biomass, or else we'll use biomass itself. Help me with some keywords related to biomass. Okay. What it is doing now is helping you with different keywords, starting with biomass, wood pellets, biogas, agriculture waste, municipal solid waste, renewable energy, right? Carbon neutral. Okay, job creation, I don't know how does it connect with that, but yeah, biomass industry may be creating some, and there are some technical terms. So I don't know, but at least the person who added that would be well aware about this kind of keywords, right? So fair, this is a good number of keywords, but these are very few for me. So let me push it a little, right? Please help me with more. Let it do more work. Okay, so it is building the table further. Okay, biomass feedstocks, okay, this was switchgrass, corn stover, algae. Sorry, I'm not aware about this terminology, but yes, I hope the person who's typed that keyword first and fastest finger first, most attentive, gets the advantage over here. So yeah, this is what it can do. Right. And okay, let me explain you what it has done. One is the keyword cluster, which is the category of the keyword. As of now, you can just understand this category of keyword, which is biomass feedstock, within which it says switchgrass is a keyword. It even put the category of the key or the types of keyword which we just saw a few slides back, right? This is an informational keyword. They have the commercial keyword also, nice. Biomass feedstock, some commercial keywords as well. And earlier were all information. No, there were some commercial earlier also, right? And if you're building this page, it is also giving you the title. Now, title and meta description, I'll just cover it in the subsequent slides. But it's also giving you the title that, hey, if you're creating this particular page, you could use this title: buy wood pellets, high quality, affordable. It has not done 100% good job, but okay, at least I'll give it the credit that, okay, it did it in such a good speed. Looking for high quality and affordable wood pellets, check out our selection of order today. Okay, so yes, this particular thing is also something through which you could do your keyword research. Okay. So I just did it online for you. I just kept the slides as a backup. So I'm just quickly going through, skipping those slides now. Okay, so we covered those things and it will be used for keyword research. And definitely, if you're not happy with the free, you have an alternative for paid prompts. I'm not somebody who's recommending it to you, but yes, you should be aware that, okay, if you're not comfortable with the free prompts, you could go for paid prompts. And you will find many such things. If you just do search on Google or ask ChatGPT itself that, hey, find me some paid prompts, it will help you with some paid prompts. Okay. Now, I just want to understand from all of you, are you ready to do keyword research? How's your confidence level in terms of doing keyword research? If you are confident, just help me with a yes or a boom on the chat window. Wonderful. Really happy with all this yes. Oh, ChatGPT forever. Nice, nice. Thank you. Thanks a lot for this feedback. Okay, but the story is not over. There could be some suspense coming in the coming slides. So please be attentive. Okay, let's move to the URLs. Okay, so we are in the fundamentals of SEO. We completed keyword research, and keywords is the fundamental block for SEO. So that's where we are. Now we move on to URLs. Okay. And URLs, what is a URL? For at least people who are not aware about it, when you type something on Google and you go to a particular website, it's identified by a unique resource locator called a URL. And this is how it looks like. Usually when you are an SEO, you are the person in charge to define how should be the URL, right? And you have to define it. So that's where what you need to do is follow these few thumb rules, which I'm sharing with you right now. Keep URL short and precise. Add your primary keyword in the URL. Okay, so primary keyword, we learned keywords. And let's say if your keyword was biomass, you're going to use the primary keyword in the URL. Okay, so your URL will be something like, let's say, Infodigit is not into biomass, etc. But yes, if it was infodigit.com/blog/ let's say biomass, what is biomass, right? That would be the kind of URL you'll create. One thumb rule over here, because for Google or any other search engine, each of the URLs are unique, be it uppercase, lowercase, that also would be unique. So let's say if you create two URLs, one is with capital W and one is with small w, both are valid URLs and both of them can exist on the same website, right? Imagine the kind of confusion which it can create with that kind of challenges. So what we are saying is, in such cases, ensure that these two versions are not existing itself on your website. And how you can do it is you can put a simple thumb rule for your engineering team that, hey, always use URLs in lowercase, right? So if you put that thumb rule, it would be much easier to ensure that there is no unnecessary duplication of pages. We'll come to duplication also in the subsequent slides, but yes, as of now, just use lowercase. Use hyphens and not underscores. Google does not weight underscore as much as hyphens, so please use hyphens. Avoid dynamic parameters. Dynamic parameters are, you would have seen that, okay, after what is structured data, you start seeing that question mark, x is equal to 1, 2, 3, p is equal to xyz, etc. Right? So those are dynamic parameters. So don't create URLs with dynamic parameters. I would suggest at least that create a static URL like this. And the appropriate page URL is around 75 characters long. So this URL, the size of it, I'm speaking in terms of characters, 1, 2, 3, etc. So keep it 75 characters long, because more than that, what you will see is on your mobile screen, the URL is kind of not displayed properly, and you want that full URL to be displayed properly on the mobile screen when your users are going for it, right? So that's something which you should be aware of. These are the fundamentals over here. And let's get into a terminology called keyword cannibalization, because that's something when you're studying URLs, you're studying keywords, it's important. What's keyword cannibalization? Let's say if I had one URL for one keyword, it is perfectly fine. I have mapped one keyword to one URL, and it's called keyword to URL mapping. But let's say if I had two plans on my website, one is the SEO audit plan and the SEO audit plan for USA, in USA pricing, India pricing. That's how I had. So, and I created 2 pages for it. Let's say SEO audit plan 1, plan 2. Now what's happening is one keyword, 2 URLs. Would it create confusion? Definitely yes, right? If there were one URL and 2 keywords, not a challenge. Just like human beings, right? Many of you would have 2 names, a pet name and a name which you may be using at some other places. 2 names, fine. But let's say in your home itself, I had one other person with your name. Would it be creating challenges? Yes. So that's what is cannibalization. And that's what comes with URL as well, right? And we term it as URL cannibalization. At least in the same home, you don't want 2 people with the same name. Similarly, on the same website, you don't want 2 pages with the same keyword being targeted, right? So this is called keyword cannibalization. One keyword is being used for 2 URLs. And that's where keyword to URL mapping comes into the picture. So what you will have to ensure is, you will have to ensure that the keyword URL to URL mapping is taken care of. And I would, in this previous case, which we looked at, I would keep it as SEO audit USA for the USA page and SEO audit India for the India page. And that's where how I will avoid keyword to URL cannibalization. Wonderful. So URL was pretty quick. Content is a little longer. So let's jump into content now. Okay. So when it comes to content, one thing which all of you should be well aware of is Google looks a lot at content in terms of the content or a website which has experience, expertise, authority, and trust. And when I say it looks up, it means that the website with the best of experience, expertise, authority, and trust are going to rank higher as compared to the websites where the experience, expertise, authority, and trust is lower, right? So that's where it's important for you to understand this particular thing. And after today, I want each one of you to start building your experience, expertise, authority, and trust, or if not for yourself, at least for your company or your client, whoever, right? But at least you need to get into this journey now. Okay, one other popular question which comes up at this particular stage of the presentation is EEAT a ranking factor? And as per this gentleman from Google, I would not go through the entire story. Some of you would have already read it. Yes, it's a ranking factor. Okay. Now, how do we improve the EEAT? This is what I need you to focus on. The first thing being experience. Let's deep dive into it. Now, to enhance your experience, what you'll have to do is you'll have to definitely work. And when you're working, what you do is create original content regularly, right? And ensure that this particular content that you create is copy edited, flawless in terms of language, because that's something which you need to create. Start publishing early in your life, right? Early in your life or in your career or in your organization, you have to start publishing, right? I see many websites with 5 pages. What are the 5 pages? Home page, about us page, product page, a contact us page, and the careers page, let's say. Those are the 5 pages on the website. So is this website, and then they want that, okay, please optimize my website and I want to compete with the highest, biggest website in the SEO space. That's not going to happen. See, you will have to make your website, if you want to at least rank for non-brand keywords, which are of good importance, you will have to ensure that you have good content. And that's where you may have to start working on blogs, etc. right? So that's something which is needed. Okay, question, Kaushal, why are you yet speaking about writing? Why can't the AI just do the work for me? Please hold on. Suspense abhi baki hai. Okay, start publishing early in your life. So that's something where you'll have to start writing good content. Ensure that the posts are authored by you. Now, when I say authored by you, there is something called an author schema. Again, we'll get into the details when we're getting into the rich snippets, but you will have to ensure that the content is authored by you. So you'll have to put in that, okay, this has been written by me, or me, not Kaushal Thakkar, but you. Use structured markup, that is the author schema. We'll go into this particular schema in the coming module, but as of now, that okay, you will have to use this particular schema. Just understand as that. Okay, so we built with the experience. Now it is the expertise. That's the second thing which you need to build. And how do you Google understand that okay, you are building expertise? That your content is accurate and helpful. It should not be only good and important for you, but even for your reader. So it needs to be helpful for your user. It is fresh and up to date. If you've written an article in 2019 and expect it to rank today, your competition has already written 10 other articles around that same topic. So you'll have to be on the top of the game, right, when you are in this particular space. So you'll have to keep it fresh and up to date. You'll have to cite legal sources, right, when you're looking at it. So let's say if you're taking some content from a GOV website or an edu website or any other .com website also, or a .in website also. When you're taking some content from those other websites, you will have to give a link to that particular website. Even you can do something as simple as how Wikipedia does. At the end of the page, you put in the sources and link to those websites that, hey, this is the place where I've taken the information. That is not only helping that website to increase its expertise, it's also helping you to build your expertise. So I see some people that, okay, Kaushal, I'll not give any backlinks from my website because I don't want anybody else to get those links. That's also not the right thing to do. You may have to give the credits, at least when you're taking some information from some other website, give them the credit, right? It's going to help you as well. And if you don't believe me, please experiment by yourself. Create some links out from your website to some legit sources from where you have taken some information and see how your ranking changes for that particular keyword, right? Okay. And with the expertise, you have to share safe advices, specifically for medical, financial, and legal. It should not happen that somebody's asking you that, okay, how to treat cold, and you are a website which writes article around that, and you say that, okay, sit in front of a fire or sit in hot sun. I don't know. If there are some Ayurvedic practitioners, they may say that, okay, Kaushal, you are saying the right things, but yeah, what you'll have to publish online is something which is considered safe by Google, not by the safe practitioners of the Indian medicine. While I'm a big fan of the Indian medicine and I follow Ayurvedic medicines only, but yes, you will have to publish content which is considered safe by Google, right? Not by you. The other thing is authoritativeness. Use user-generated content. How are you going to create user-generated content? Maybe some space for reviews, etc. on your website will help you create more user-generated content. Publish guest posts from thought leaders on your industry, right? So let's say what you do is you have a blog and you invite some of the senior leaders from your industry to write a blog article on your website. You'll say, Kaushal, why would they do that? Because you are giving them an opportunity to write on your website. And in turn, what max they may ask is, hey, give me a link back to my website with my name, right? So that let's say if XYZ person has published an article, he may take a link that, okay, when a person clicks on that XYZ, that person goes to their website. Or maybe they will take a few links from your website. That's okay. But at least getting this content published from thought leaders from your industry is more valuable than those 1 or 2 links moving out from your website. Publish review from users, clients, and members, right? We spoke because user-generated content, this would be one such way. And publish your post on other websites too. Now, you're working on the internet. It's a web, right? It's better that you interact with the industry, and that should be shown on your website also. It should not be that you're working in a silo and you're the only person who has a website and it's a standalone website with those 5 pages which does not link to anybody and nobody links to that website. You're not going to rank, right? So you will have to collaborate with the industry in which you're working with. Trustworthiness. Make your contact information easily accessible, right? Phone number will explain Google that, hey, yes, there is a phone number at least. It's not a website which is something which is going to take users' money and run away. There's a phone number, it's genuine. Use Google Maps. That shows authority, right? And trustworthiness as well. Because when you're using Google Maps, embedding it inside your website itself, it even knows that, hey, this person has a location, a physical address, which they are saying upfront that, hey, this is the physical address where you can come and visit us. So that also builds trustworthiness. Create a clear and informative about us page and list credentials of the leaders in your organization. Even this builds trustworthiness. So if some of these elements are missing on your website, you know what to do at the end of the session today, right? And get more websites to refer to you. Get some backlinks. That's a secret sauce for trustworthiness. Okay, now when doing this, before a few slides, I spoke about creating content, which is original content getting regularly updated. Now, what happens when you speak of original content? Many people start taking content from some other websites and start publishing it, right? And that's something which I've clearly said no of. You have to use original content. So if you are the content writer, I know that at least you will ensure that you don't do damage to your own website and you'll do the right content and write original content. But let's say if somebody else is writing content for you. In this world, you will have to check plagiarism, right? That, hey, I hope these people have not copied the content from somewhere else. And some tools, there are hundreds of tools. Again, when you speak of plagiarism, you may, if you're using some tool, continue using it if you're finding it comfortable. But if you ask me, Kaushal, recommend 2 tools, I would say QText and Copyscape. I personally prefer Copyscape because it's easy. Yeah, so let's say if I want to search that, okay, the infodigit.com e-commerce SEO page, is somebody copying that content? So what I'll do is I'll put that URL, do next, and it will tell me that, hey, been copied, this particular thing. I'm seeing this particular e-commerce SEO service in Delhi, Carematic Solutions has taken this particular content. So now I go into the Copyscape details and understand that, hey, what have they done? Let me see this. Okay, let me take you to the live version. I think this particular page was just open. So escape. No, escape, yes. Okay, sorry, that result went off. Okay, I'm not investing more time on that. But yes, when you're doing it, it will tell you first that, okay, the page below has 1374 words matching 25% of the page. So they've taken 25% of the content from the first website, right? So this particular website in Delhi and highlighted below. So I'll go and check this particular thing and it shows that, hey, this all content is coming. So I'll go at least on my website. And then I realized that, yes, conducting through thorough SEO audit was something which was written on our website. And they've used the same thing, focusing intrinsically on vendor systems, capabilities, practice, compliances. Our team of experts conducts elaborate technical audits. Hey, this is what my team was doing. I wonder when did this team in Delhi started doing this? I don't have any branches in Delhi, but now I know that somebody's copying the content from my website. So what I'll do is I'll connect with them and get the content removed, right? So that's one thing which you'll have to do if somebody else is publishing the content. If your team has written the content, again, you will be able to explore Copyscape and other tools in more detail. And I'm sure that you people will be able to find and understand how to get that thing. Okay. And since we are on AI, the next important thing is, hey, what about the AI content? Would that be considered as plagiarized content? Let's deep dive. Okay, so I'm taking you back almost a year back. This is April 19, 2022, just a year back. And a year back, ChatGPT was not there, at least in the current avatar, as popularly as you are seeing it today. A year back, the industry was kind of really happy that, hey, I wrote this particular article and it's, you know what, I wrote it with this particular Shine Ranker AI written content to rank, and it is kind of now hit number one for this particular keyword, which it is looking at, right? Santa Barbara Nursery. So they took the content for Santa Barbara Nursery and they were ranking first, really happy about it, excited, enjoying the fruits of AI. And this is what happened to this kind of websites by the month of November. So they had a really good time, huh? April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months, wonderful time. They all started ranking well with the AI generated content. They pushed so much of AI content on their website. But November, something happened, and for many of these websites, the traffic plummeted. For some of these, it even went below the level from where they had started building AI content. Okay, and this is what happened. Now, then on 30th November, Google made an announcement that we have algorithms to detect and demote. Understand that. It's not only detecting, it's demoting AI altered and considering it as plagiarized content. Right? So Google came up with this particular update on November 30. Now, we are speaking of 6 months back. Okay, hang on and understand the dynamics of this particular industry. Then OpenAI came. Now with OpenAI, again, the confidence came in that, okay, now the algorithm is much more better. Google will not be able to detect it. And then ChatGPT 4 came in. Everybody was excited. And this is now I'm speaking of March 2023, right? March 2023, ChatGPT 4 came in. Again, the enthusiasm in the industry increased. That boom, I'm going to use this content coming from the AI. So let's say, and while I'm yet using the free version of ChatGPT, we saw how the content and how detailed content ChatGPT is able to generate in multiple languages as well. If you want to create content in Hindi as well, it can provide you that thing that, okay, I'll just put the output language as Hindi and it will give me the content in Hindi, right? Wouldn't it be exciting? But the things, we took it to the next level as well, right? And what people started doing is they started using that, okay, what I'm going to do is to fool Google and at least ensure that my content is looking 100% human. I'm even going to use ChatGPT content, plus I'm going to paraphrase it. Now, what is paraphrase? For people who don't understand that, so I'm just using this tool called Quillbot. Okay, you see the small bot over here, that's Quillbot extension which I'm using. And when you hover over about this particular innocent looking feather, you'll see this paraphrase all text. I'm just showing you example of paraphrasing so that I can at least explain it to you. So what paraphrase does is, let's say if this is the text which is written over there, as technology continues to evolve in field of SEO, the field of SEO is constantly changing. So instead of that, it will give me suggestions like, as technology continues to develop, SEO is ever changing field. So what it is doing is, I've taken content from one tool, I'm using the second tool to paraphrase the content, combining this content, expecting that I'll be counted as human content. Okay, but let's break the suspense here. And April 9, 2023, some of the tools already started saying that, hey, now we can accurately detect ChatGPT, ChatGPT 4, paraphrased content, and other popular NLP models. Now, this is just a small organization. If they can do it, Originality, this is Originality.ai. Definitely, it's a good organization, but small as compared to Google as of now. So Google definitely must be knowing it, right? Let's go deeper into this particular thing. So Originality AI claims, I'm using the word claims, yet that, okay, it is able to detect the AI written content 95% of the time. And we term that as true positive. And true positive is where the content is actually written by AI and it marks it as AI written content, that's true positive. Okay. And false positive is somewhere where the content is written by a human and it's being categorized as AI. That's a false positive. So even that is happening. But that if this is 95, that will be 5%. Now there are multiple other tools, right? OpenAI text classifier also is a tool. GPT-0, Copy These are multiple different tools. But yes, this particular tool is something which claims that it's able to detect 95% of the content written by AI. Just to go a little deeper into that false positive, true positive. See, true positive correctly identify AI content as AI. False positive is correctly identify human writing as AI. And then there could be the other cases also that AI content was detected as human, but that's very less percentage as compared to the other. So sometimes, yes, you can go through, and there's, let's say, 1% probability that your content which is written by AI was be considered as human written content. But for creating this kind of content, definitely your prompt will have to be really, really, really long as compared to the example we saw around not few minutes, but at least half an hour back. That long prompt, you may have to make it more detailed so that you bring in more humanness into your AI, right? So that's something which is quite possible. And then there are true negatives, correctly identified human writing as human, 98% of the time. So that's also good. Okay, so what they did further, I'm speaking about the same organization yet, originality.ai. I'll give you the link in this coming few minutes, but as of now, pay attention because even you're losing a second, you would go off. So originality.ai did another exam research over here. They have this human score, right? They know how much percentage of the content is written by human, how much is written by AI, based on all the studies which they have done. So that's something where they're able to detect it. Now, based on this, they started ranking this particular thing that, okay, if the content is written by 50% and it's getting a score of 50% human, what's the possibility of this thing ranking at number 1? So that thing was coming at 1. And what we are seeing is a correlation coefficient chart for the people who don't understand. As of now, just don't look at the red line. If you're understanding correlation for the first time, just look at the blue dots. Okay. So if it is a human content score of 50, it's ranking at number 1. If it has a human score of somewhat around 48, ranking at number 2. Human score of this particular thing was a little higher, around say 51, and yet it was ranking between 2 and 3 or 2, let's assume. And you see this blue dots, how they are moving. As you see the score moving down in terms of human content, let's say 42, it ranks at the 19th position or the second page of Google as we speak of, right? Or the second scroll after the 10th result. So that's how this particular thing, and then they have drawn that line. That the red line came afterwards. That okay, based on the pattern of these dots, they've drawn the line, and this is what is happening. That okay, as of now also, when content is getting written by ChatGPT and other stuff, it's very clear that Google is able to understand it, and what's happening is those ranking of those particular pages are not in the top few pages. At least that's what we are seeing. Google is also building this algorithm as we speak. And at the same time, the industry dynamics are changing every day. But yes, the initial checks from my side are also confirming what you saw from originality.ai. What I'll do is at least I'll help you with the URL in the coming slides so that at least I'll just share it with you. But yeah, as of now, let's continue further. So now let's say if you are a content marketer and we're worried for the last few days that, hey, will I have a job of content writing after a few days? Please be safe and happy because yes, since the AI content is not going to rank that well, as for me, you have 100% job safety, right, in your individual organizations. So at least, yeah, if you're doing a good job. So that's something, at least your content should be human written, and definitely there will be many opportunities for you in that case. But yes, if you are writing content like AI, now it's the time to change. So if you are a human writing content like AI, it's the time for you to change your writing style, go deeper, think of EEAT and write the content, do the things around EEAT and write the content and make it look more human, right? That will help it rank better. Okay, so Kaushal, do we stop using AI because of what you said? See, understand that the objective of AI is not just to write content. Now, that's what, as human beings, when we started using the tools, we first look at the easy things which the tools can give us. But the easy things are not always the best things. But yet, you can use AI. For example, for our keyword research, you remember we used AI, right? Continue doing that. That's an excellent way. But yes, you may have to dig deeper as well. You can't restrict yourself to only the content coming from AI. So you may have to go deeper and do your own keyword research. But definitely, it gives you a big plethora of ideas around keywords which you would have not thought of earlier. So please use AI for such kind of things. The other thing, as content marketers, you could use it to create your content calendar. Now, many of you would be thinking that, okay, content calendar was something which I was creating and now AI creating the content. Let it give you a first draft version. Consider it as your assistant, right? Even if you are a person with 0 years of experience, consider AI as your assistant. How fortunate you are. And start taking the first version of the content from it. And then you can definitely develop on top of that, right? So if you ask that, hey, give me a content calendar, AI is going to give it to you, right? And there are so many other usage. So writing content is something which I would say no, but using it to enhance your productivity at writing content is something which you can definitely explore. Okay, now one other thing, when I say this thing, I want you to be a little bit careful as well. Now, let's say I told ChatGPT that, hey, please tell me something more about InfoDigit, right? And I told you earlier, ChatGPT is like a kid. And you know kids, sometimes if they don't have some information, they are innocent and they start lying and building up the information. You would have even seen this with some senior citizens, very, very senior citizens. There are some time gaps in their memory and they'll start building some innocent stories around that, right? So similar is ChatGPT. Consider it as a kid. And for InfoDigit, let's say, when I asked that, hey, tell me more about InfoDigit, it said that we are into social media marketing, digital analytics. But hey, stop. We are into search engine optimization. That was the primary thing which was there, right? So where is all these things coming from? So it just makes up information. Okay, I went a little deeper because I was enjoying this. Who's the leadership team, right? So I did not type now because it sets the context that I'm speaking of InfoDigit. I did not put in, so I just asked who is the leadership team. And at least fortunate that I yet remain the founder and the managing director. But my leadership team are the set of people who I don't even know, right? So it makes up information. It's an innocent kid. So please don't take it seriously. The ideal thing in this case is you should not be using ChatGPT for this kind of queries. Please use Google search and go to that website and understand what the information is, right? So even your intern can make such mistakes. It's a kid. So please ignore this kind of mistakes right now. But not ignore, check this kind of information which you're getting from ChatGPT and then do your little bit of search and then proceed with that. Okay. Okay. Fair. I'll prevent myself from doing it, but how do I prevent my team? Now that's the next question from using AI content. Let's take an example. Okay, so for building this example, I wrote this one line of content. I started writing the content on the topic of how to use ChatGPT for SEO. But after a few minutes, I thought that ChatGPT would be a better source to create this content. So I went to ChatGPT and decided to copy the content. Okay, so that's what I did. So as a kid, what you will do is you will give a little boost to the kid, right? Or even to your intern that, hey, you're doing a good job. Similarly, this AI, which is a replica of human, needs that kind of thing. You are a professional SEO content writer, I told it. Help me with an article on how to use ChatGPT for SEO. And then it gave me this article, right? Now, what I did is I took that article and pasted it onto this particular page where I was writing the original content. Now, there are tools to check the content. And again, what I would prefer is I would like to go live if the things are in place, and if I can show it to you quickly, let me try to do that. Yes, I have the original version of the page. I'm using an extension over here. Again, I'm giving you the extension in the coming few seconds itself. So what I'll have to do is I'll just reload this particular page to activate. Okay, reload the page. So this is the same page which I'm showing you on the screen right now on the PPT. I'm just showing you the live version of it. Okay, let's give it a time to refresh, and meanwhile I can have some water. We'll be taking a small bio break in another 12 minutes, 1 o'clock sharp. We'll take a break of 5 minutes. But yeah, be here as of now. So then what it does is, once you install this particular plugin, it helps you with this Originality AI report. Okay, I click on Originality AI report, and I am going to this view writing. That, okay, how did the person start writing it? See what it is doing. And you see this green text suddenly coming up while the person was writing. Ooh, it was not the normal writing where how the first line got written. It was not the same. Okay, but let me go deeper. I want to see the AI report as well. Okay, AI report for this. Okay, Kaushal Thakkar wrote it, and this is how Kaushal Thakkar was writing it. 1 word, 2 word, 3 word, 4 word, and as he started building a word, this is the time how he was taking it. Slow writer, really slow writer. Okay, but suddenly he became so fast, and he completed 3,200 words in this 1 second. Isn't it amazing? Is it a human or an AI? And it's a free tool. So all of you can use this particular tool. I'm just sharing it. Okay, so what I used was, kindly excuse me with this experience thing, which comes from Originality AI, right? So we just saw this in the live version, but yeah, I have to give you this URL. So let me take this URL and post it to your chat window. Yes, Palak, just taking the break. Give us 10 more minutes. Okay, so that's how this particular thing could work. I'm also sharing you the link of the main tool as well, which is the next slide, so that we can speed up this particular thing. Okay, fair. Let's move to the next slide. So what you saw was the free plugin. Even if you go to the main originality.ai, it gives you a few credits, which you will get for free, where you can check some content and get into the details. Let's say if the content writer has already shared the content with you, what can you do? And that you did not share the plugin with them earlier. If you would have shared the plugin earlier, you would have understand based on that chart itself that, okay, was it a human written content or something where the AI was created? But if your content is already present, then what you could do is you could copy paste that content into Originality AI, and then it can give you something like this also, that, okay, 59% of the content is original and 41% is AI. Remember, 95% probability that it is correct as per the chart which we saw a few slides back. 5% possibility that it is wrong, but 95% accuracy is a good accuracy, right? I see many content writers who are really young, and they look at content from multiple websites and then they start writing the content. They are getting flagged as AI even if they are writing AI content, right? Because it's that experience. Whereas if you see the experienced writer, how they write is they're learning that particular topic and then they start writing it. So they are not getting categorized as AI. So that's something which my initial study has shown. I don't have some fancy charts like what Originality.ai has shared, but at least that's what my initial observation is showing. Okay. Now, the next tool to detect the content itself is ChatGPT itself. So let me show you a live example again. Instance of ChatGPT going on. At least there was one on Bing. Okay. Last few slides, we are taking a break soon. Just be there. Okay. So I was on that other page. I take this content and I ask it. I'm just putting it in double quotes here and asking it, who wrote this content? Okay, surprisingly, it's not giving that, but let me take some other content. From here, that's original. Okay, I can continue on the slide itself. So what I did is I took up some content from some sections, and then it was clearly able to tell me, when I said that who wrote this content, it was clearly able to tell me who I wrote this content, right? So as of now, the systems are learning. It's in that earlier stage. So as of now, they are making mistakes, right? But over the years, maybe it starts giving you more accurate information. But this was one easy way to understand that, hey, and I'd say a free way also, right? You don't have to give much credit. So I wrote this content. And then you have that particular plugin or the tools, which I already shared with you on the chat window. So these tools can help you understand that, hey, is it written by an AI or a human? At least it will give you some indication. It's not 100% accurate yet. Okay, so I took one other example and tried to understand that, hey, copy pasted the content and asked that, hey, who wrote this content? And then it clearly said that, hey, as an AI language model, I do not have access to information regarding who specifically wrote this article. However, this text appears to be written by InfoDigit's own voice, likely authored by their internal marketing or content team, right? So when you get this, at least you know that, hey, yes, it's some human who has written the content by themselves. Okay, last slide and we take a break. So one thing I want you to understand when it comes to content is that organic search visits are earned and not owned. Okay, so that's what you need to understand. So don't try to abuse it with content which is coming from AI or some automated source, or don't plagiarize. If you want to build up the authority of your website, you want to do great in terms of search engine optimization, you will have to earn it, and you will have to earn it by writing that content. Okay, fair. We take a quick break here. Or we are at 12:55. Let's all be back at 1. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. So guys, we'll take a 5 minutes break. Grab your lunch, whatever you have, and we'll restart at 1. I hope it is going good. And for those who are not going, I'm quickly launching a feedback poll wherein we help, like you help us understand how's the session going. Are you excited or not? Let me just check. Okay, so a lot of people are also asking how long is the session since we are breaking now. Ideally, the session will go until 2 p.m., 1 more hour.